Hey everybody, welcome back. Today I'm going to be showing you a video on one of my favorite Outlander builds. It's a pretty simple one, although in the loadout it's going to have a hero that you guys might not have, Shuriken Master Lamurai. I only want to show this with the Lamurai, but there's other characters you can use. Right now the Fortnite event is still going on, and maybe you got it from the birthday event and put him in the collection book. But he is someone to be used some of the time, even though there's other people you can put in the slot. But his thing with the teddies is just all around. So let's put it this way. Here, the Enforcer Grizzly is the Outlander I want to show you today. And let's inspect him and figure out why he's one of the best damage Outlanders. There's a lot of Outlanders for farming, stuff like that. But if you're going to use an Outlander that has some decent stuff and he's a good damage out, that's someone that I would always keep in my pocket. Upgrade and inspect. All right, so these things aren't new to us. Anti-mat charge, increased chance loot find, loot llama, blah, blah. Teddy. Okay, we know how Teddy works. 15 seconds. Got a 60-second cooldown. You can find a llama or a fragment, Teddy fragment out there to change that. Here it is. Bear with me. Increases the duration of Teddy by 5 seconds. Okay. Increase maximum shield by 20%, which is really good. Outlanders are kind of flimsy. Phase shift is good. You're in and out of combat. That's always good. And it shakes off some stuff. Overbearing. Increase the range of Teddy's attacks by 4 tiles. Now that's really good. Teddy sometimes doesn't pick people up unless you have the overbearing. He'll shoot from downrange, which is really good because when the storm spawns and stuff, at least you have the range to be hitting those enemies right off the bat. Phase shield. Phase shift forces the shield to regenerate for 2 seconds. Your shield will regenerate even if you continue to take damage, but it'll only regenerate at 20% of the regular rate. So the minute that you do phase shift, right off the bat, it's going to kick your shields into overdrive and regenerate. So getting in and out of combat is really nice with that phase shift, especially if you're going to be doing a combat-orientated build. The next one is barricade. Enemies damaged by Teddy have movement and attack speed slowed by 30% for 6 seconds. Now that's really good all by itself. But you could possibly have that as one of those 6 permanent perks on the gun where it automatically does damage to slowed and snared targets. So your Teddy's slowing and snaring targets, your gun might be slowing and snaring targets, and, depending on, you might have that 5th perk. You might do a slow and snared target on your weapon that stacks. So it's a lot of chance there for a lot of damage on the slowed and snared targets. In the zone, it's good that he has extra pickaxe damage, not something really combat orientated. But here's the last two. Upgraded bearings. Increases Teddy's rate of fire by 50%, which is good because he's only out there for so long. Spitting more bullets is almost just as good as duration, in my opinion. And the last but not least is Berserker. Increases the damage dealt by Teddy by 25% and duration by 5 seconds. Those are 2 really good for just in one perk. The 25% damage dealt that's completely good for a Teddy. Sometimes if you're playing with an Outlander, you'll throw your Teddy down and it really doesn't even do much. He does stuff to the normal Husk, but then you get to the Husky Husks or Smashers, stuff like that. Like you just see no damage out on it. But it also increases, this perk also increases the duration by 5 seconds. Now, stack that with the overbearing, all that stuff, the bear with me an extra 5. So that's 10 seconds on top of the 15 seconds. 25-second for a Teddy, and the cooldowns, even if you had no fragments, the cooldown is 60 seconds. So say 60 seconds, subtract the 25 seconds, you only really have to wait 35 seconds for another Teddy, worst case scenario, which it goes by quick, especially in like a 7-minute defense. But guess what? Now what we're going to do is we're going to stack this Shuriken Master Lamurai, which is part of the Halloween event. His ability damage, increase all ability damage by 20%. Well, guess what's an ability with Enforcer Grizzly? The Teddy. That's right. So now you're adding another 20% on top of the Teddy build that you already have. Amazing. Now this one could be a couple different choices, and we'll go over that. Right now I have the Shamrock Reclaimer. The reason I do is because his is Teddy now fires eye beams that deal 22 base energy damage, which is also really good. That's a totally separate thing. It's not coming out of the guns. It's coming out of the Teddy's eyes. So it's almost double. It's like you got 2 guns, 2 eyes, that's 4 things doing damage out. Or you can change it to a hero. Now I have this hero, you guys might not have it, but there's other heroes that are base heroes in the game, especially if you're just starting out. Maybe you have no event heroes. This tactical squad bonus is on other characters. You don't have to worry about not having a card by just go into the collection book and find this bonus. You could have this one called Grizzled Veteran, which has increased the duration of teddies by 5 seconds. Now, we already know that we have a teddy duration with him at 25 seconds. Now you have it at 30 seconds with him. That's 30 seconds. He's out there doing 20% with the Lamurai, extra damage, and he's already doing so much damage with the bear already. So every minute you're throwing out every minute you're throwing out a bear, and then after that you're throwing out every 30 seconds a bear. So you start off, go find yourself some fragments as well. You can go ahead and stockpile some fragments, and that will get you less time. I think it cools it down to 45 seconds. Then you'll only be waiting 15 seconds after your teddy for another teddy, which is amazing. I'll take you into a power level 100 encampment just to show you how this works here. Mind you, I don't know if you noticed, all those heroes in the loadout were 130 max level, so that's going to affect it. If they're not that level, don't worry, the setup will still work, but I just want to take you into a level 100 encampment and show you how that pops off. Alright guys, I'm going to show you what it's like to do an encampment with one of these teddies. The best way that I can show you, I'm not going to go do a full defense. I'm just going to pull my teddy out and show you because you really want to know if it's going to stand up against level 100 enemies. And here's the best way to show you it. And the only way I can really show you that nice and easy is by going to an encampment. There we go, we'll trigger it, wait for it, and put the teddy down. Now it is a lot of enemies coming, but I don't think we're going to have a problem here. And can you clean it? Oh, he's got 5 seconds left. He might be able to do it with 5. Look at that. There it is. Oh, he left two-handed. But you can see that was a huge mob for one teddy. I didn't fire a single bullet. That was a huge mob. And that way, here it is. Now you have an encampment. You can just kind of do the encampment yourself if you really need to. But that teddy, look at the cooldown's already at 15, 14 seconds. All you got to do is kind of bide your time. Use your thing. This is me not using bullets, by the way. I mean, literally, you're not firing a single bullet. That's totally fine. Maybe you can fire a couple, clean a little bit off. But the teddy's already ready to go again. Boom, drop him. He's back on it again. If you do have that Shamrock Reclaimer, you can always put him in, because here it is, high levels, Twine. It's rare that you find a mob that doesn't have an element on it. So those energy laser beams, man, really help with the element aspect of it. Let's find the next one. But there you go, man. That's basically. I mean, I could go on if you guys wanted, but you know, you get the picture of it. This is a really good setup, especially with phase shift, rejuicing your shields. You know, he's a great Outlander, with the teddies, and that's one of my favorite builds, man. One of my favorite teddy builds. There's just nothing that really gets a lot of damage out, except for maybe like a ranger. You got pistols and stuff like that, but that's a totally different setup. This one's basically to control the battlefield. Throw your teddies, drop your turret, skate around the battlefield, drop another teddy. And here, look, here, I'll show you what the cooldown is real quick. There's this one right here. So say you do drop a teddy, you got a fragment on you. The cooldown by the time the teddy even gets going is 40 seconds. Our teddy's going to sit there for 30 seconds. So it's only a 15-second cooldown after that. But yeah, guys, this is one of my favorites. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you feel like you have all these characters or you can do the setup, man, let me know. Let me know if you are missing something. If you want to ask a question, feel free. You guys can also catch me on Twitch. I stream almost every single night on Twitch. I stream Fortnite, one of my favorite games. So come find me there if you want to catch me live. Thanks all for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.